Every revolutionary innovation begins with one question. How do you know your idea is truly new? Learn the power of prior art search before investing years into the wrong idea. Discover how patents protect ideas and how innovators turn them into revenue. Learn how startups, industries, and universities collaborate to transform inventions into successful businesses. Real stories, real patents, real commercialization strategies used by successful innovators. Whether you're a student, researcher, startup, or entrepreneur, this masterclass could change the way you innovate. Mission Invent. Learn how ideas become impact. Register now and start your innovation journey.
Let's start by understanding what prior art is. See, prior art is the current state of art and technology relating to an invention. So how simple is this definition? So what we are trying to explain here is that whenever you decide to invent something, or whenever you have an idea, the prior art helps to understand to what extent the work has already been done in that sector. So prior art is an understanding about how much hard work or how much money you have to, spend such that that invention can reach its potential level. So prior art helps to understand how much work has been done, in what way the work has already been invested into, and what is the next step that you have to take. Why did prior art come into picture? See, whenever we talk about patenting something or having a design application, we need to understand to what extent people have worked across the world. Whenever you apply for a patent application, they are not going to just validate your content based on India. I have so many people who come to me and they're like, you know what, this idea is available in Germany or this idea is available in US, but nobody has worked this in India. Okay, so you can manufacture that product if they are not here in India and sell it. Maybe if they have no patent rights. But when you decide to apply for a patent, the government is going to perform the examination, check every possible database, including India and outside India. So prior art helps you there. Prior art helps you to establish that this idea has never been disclosed before. Do you know why patent is kept at a pedestal? It's because you are the sole person to have the right on that idea across the world. When you get a patent right, it means that nobody across the world has ever discussed it or disclosed it. So it's a huge privilege that you carry, and that is why you have so much prestige, or you're put on a pedestal when you have a patent. Okay, so prior art helps you in that. So why do a prior art search? To uncover what has been done before. As I told you, whatever work has already been done, with a prior art search, you will have an idea that, okay, itna kaam ho chuka hai. We have worked, this much work has been done by others. So you do not spend your time and money just doing their work. There won't be a redundancy when you're doing something. So prior art helps you in that. Second, to determine if the idea warrants the time and expense of the filing of the patent. This is very important. See, I have so many people who are very confident that, this is my research, this is my PhD work, and I'm very sure. Means like nobody has done it before. So aap patent file kar do. You go ahead. And when the patent report comes, you might see a lot of citations. Right now, the citations might be like 1 or 2. If you have a prior art search done, the patent citations that you get is maybe 1, 2. But if you have not done, I have seen documents where they have 10 citations, 15 citations saying that, your invention has been done in bits and pieces and exactly the way you have implemented. So if you're spending a lot of money while doing a patent, prior art helps you to identify the potential of it. So that is one thing. Okay. Other also provides background information for writing the patent application. See, when you write a patent application, there is an entire section defining the prior art or the background of the work. Okay, so there you can clearly mention that these are the cited patents which we have referred to. These are the problems that they have, and this is the solution that we are trying to provide. So that clarity is received if you have a prior art search. So this already lets the patent registry know that, you're not a first timer that, you're writing a patent. You already know, you're very informed, you have done the prior art search, you have done the research, and you know that this work has already been done. And this is something that I am putting forth as the new invention or the new parameter or the feature which has not been implemented. So that confidence is given by prior art search. Okay. So what constitutes prior art search against a patent application? So when you apply for a patent application, what are the things that are searched or researched to, as a part of examination? So printed publication in any languages. 100 times I might have told this to so many people across India that do not publish your work before filing a patent. Now, I have said this multiple times in sessions, and I'll say it again. If you are a PhD candidate or if you are doing some kind of research, do not publish your work, even if it's a part or portion of it, without filing for a patent. See, when we'll have a lecture on patent drafting and filing, I'll explain you how to do it, but in very short, let me explain that if you are a person who is very eager to publish a paper and scope in it, your guide is behind you and you're like, without this my guide is not going to let me go to the next stage. There, what you can do is go for a provisional filing in case of a patent application. Provisional filing is dating your idea. That means, let's say you have an idea today and you still don't know its working, implementation, method, process, mechanism. You can file for a provisional application where you only have to submit your objectives, which has to be very straightforward, and you can be very elaborate also. It can be hypothetical because objectives just holds your patent idea. So your objective has to be very clear and an abstract has to be submitted. So your date of filing and your idea is protected. Then go ahead and publish as many paper as you want. So the provisional filing helps you to protect your date. It should always be before your publication. Okay. So do not discuss around your idea before filing at least a provisional application. So that's the first thing. The government will check all the published printed publications in any languages. Be very careful. The government office has translators. They will translate from one language to another to check if this idea has ever been published in any languages. Even if you have taken it from some book, and if right now e-copies are available everywhere, so they will validate. So please be a bit careful about it. Okay, this includes items that are electronically published and before the date of filing of the patent. As I told you, the date of filing always holds importance. So if it is published any date before your patent, it will create an issue. Okay. Additionally, in published Indian patent applications, PCT applications, or any patent applications across the world. See, as I told you, your patent idea can only be generated once. We always say that you only have one mother, right? So similarly, every idea only has one mother. There will be only one person who can create it. So even if it is created in US, China, Japan, or India, one person can only hold the rights for it. Okay, so like if I tell you, now, why this holds so much importance? Because you create a history with that invention. Like, for example, do you know, I don't know how many of you know this, who invented telephone? We all know it's Graham Bell, right? But do you know that at the time of patent filing, there were two people who were experimenting on the same technology, on the part where communication was being experimented and researched by two persons. One was Graham Bell and one was Alice Gray. And they applied patent very close by. If the timing or the procedure or if was not properly done by Graham Bell, we would have not known him as the father of that technology. We would have known Alice Gray, who is not even talked about in the history. That is the importance of prior art search, and that is the importance of dating of a patent. So please do be very careful. If you have an idea, you're working on an idea, file for a patent to secure the date of filing. Okay. And prior art search helps to identify that date. Okay. At what time have they filed and to what extent have they claimed and filed it? So above that, whatever you do, you can apply for a patent. Okay.
So previously, I think 10 years before, prior art search was very difficult. Not 10 years, I think 15, 20 years before. The prior art search was a bit difficult Even in the Indian database, it was a bit difficult because it had to be done manually. Everything was only documented. So there was no scope for you to physically actually go and check. You had to apply to the patent registry. They will do the search and let you know. So there was a different procedure. There was a different headache because it was all manual searching. People used to go to libraries, check the papers and research, and then they'll find then they used to do an invention. Imagine the headache that they took when they were patenting. So I think we should respect these people, right? Who decided to do such things even before our time. Correct. So now it's very easy because it's just in front of a computer, right? So you just go log in and whatever you want, you put in the keywords, it will give you a precise report. See, prior art search does not give you 100% guarantee at any place. Please do understand. Prior art search is just an understanding of what has already been done based on the data that you receive. No patent houses, no patent agents or attorneys can give you 100% guarantee that whatever you are giving, this is the exact prior art report and you can go ahead. You know why that is the problem? Because the date of publication. Every country have a publication procedure. From the people who have already done the patent filing, you might know that the time span is different. Sometimes for early publication, the application might be online, let's say in 4 to 5 weeks, or for a normal publication, it might take 18 months. So let's say there is a patent which has been applied in 2024, December. Okay. So till now, the patent won't be published, and unpublished data you cannot track back. So nobody can tell you that there is 100% guarantee that you will not have an objection. Yes, there is always a 20% lag, which you need to understand, because every country have their own time for publication. Until that work is not published, you cannot see it. Okay, so that's one thing. But now prior art search is easier. And once you have done the prior art search, please file the patent as soon as possible. I have seen people who do the prior art search, let's say, like I did the prior art search in the month of March. They wait like till April, May to apply for a patent. And in between, you might have talked to so many people. Don't do that, because the 2 months time that you wasted on, I don't know, doing what, somebody might apply for the idea. Because see, the prior art search gives you at least an 80-85% confidence that your idea has never been disclosed before. And what you did was, you waited for somebody else to copy it without having an assurity or license that you have protected it. So don't do that. So I have seen people doing it. Please don't do that. If you have a prior art search, you're confident 80-85% enough, that's a good number. Go ahead, file a patent as early as possible. Like, not even waste a week. Okay. So where does one find a prior art search? That means, where should one do a prior art search? Actually, everywhere. Everywhere means research papers, open databases, e-commerce websites, YouTube videos, patent databases of every country as possible. See, you don't have to go ahead and check every country, because you will not reach a conclusion that fast. There are softwares also, but apart from that, easiest, I'll be showing you how to do it the easiest sector. Okay, so there are 2 to 3 websites which can be referred, but you have to check everywhere. I have like, this experience is so bad. I mean, there was a client of mine and they were in the dental industry. So the problem was, when they did the prior art search, it was a measuring instrument of some kind. So when they did the prior art search, they were very focused on using the word dental. So everything was dental, medical. But the problem was, it was a weighing instrument and they should have kept it very generic. When the reports came and we saw that the word, instead of that instrument being used in the dental sector, there was an entirely different sector where that exact product was being used. Because the design, the method of implementation, the working, everything was same. The government came up with a conclusion that there is no difference, there is no novelty, there is no inventiveness. It's like using a screw for your doors, or for your, maybe tables. It was doors, not furniture, maybe somewhere else, in the computer, or maybe in the, in the furniture. So it was just two implementation, but the same product, same working, same implementation. It caught a lot of eye and the patent was rejected. So please be careful. Do not restrict it based on your field of implementation. Have a wider check. Okay, so check everywhere as possible, such that such things do not happen with you. There was another client who it was so sad. They did not file for a patent, but because they wanted to sell that product, they endorsed it into Amazon and Flipkart. The patent office is very smart. They have better softwares right now. Like this is 2026, so they do have better softwares. So when they did the prior art search, they picked the client's exact product from Amazon. They were like, "How is this product already in market, and your application is just under examination?" So it conflicted with their own product, and they published that product on the Amazon website at least 6 to 8 months before they applied for a patent. Don't do that. These things keep on happening. We keep on instructing. These lectures are for that, to learn from others' mistake. Okay, so do not do that. Do a prior art search, but do it very thoroughly in every way possible. Okay. So now we'll start with a sector where we understand how does one start with a prior art search. So the first is understand your invention. You need to be very clear what you have invented. See, I have seen people, they might have invented one feature in a large invention, but when they do a prior art search, they go very broad with the prior art search. Don't do that. Let's say you have created an instrument, you have created a part of an instrument which was currently being used in surgery. So when you do a prior art search, you do not look for the instrument. You look for that exact feature in that instrument, whether it has already been implemented before. So understand what your invention is. Understand the portion that you're going to implement, because that is how your entire background has to be built. See, whenever we say understand your invention, it holds so much importance, because I have seen patents being challenged by the controllers or by the examiners in the patent office when they don't understand the background of the work. So understanding your invention, the implementation helps you to build a better background. So don't write a very broad background ever. So that is why understanding your invention, that this is the portion which holds lot of information, lot of importance, and that is why I'm modifying it, because currently nobody has worked on it. So focus that way. Okay. Second is identify key concepts and keywords. Understanding your invention helps you to build a better keyword, right? Now, keyword is something which helps you to get better result, better reports. So be very precise when you're identifying what your keywords are. Second, the keywords, if they have multiple synonyms that people might use, do use that. Do multiple sorting of keywords, okay? Because understand, see, if I call something one thing and there is another synonym which a person can use, patent drafting is being smart. They will use words which you might not be able to understand. Okay, so be a bit smart, and what if you think that this word can also be called this, so just flip those things, such that I have seen where people, in medical patents, they use the scientific name instead of using the common name. Like, for example, they might use the word like, instead of turmeric, they might use the scientific name. Instead of neem, they might use the scientific name. So when you do a prior art search, do not just use the normal name, use the scientific name. Okay. Second, select search sources. That means, see, when you are doing a prior art search, you need to identify, see, I told you have to check multiple databases, right? So I'll be letting you know which country's database or which open databases will be much more easier. But if you think that there is something which a particular country is expert in doing, like for example, if you're searching for agricultural patent, so you'll definitely search Indian database, US database and Israel database, because you know that there have been people who are very much involved into this sector. Now, let's say you're finding something in computer science or IT sector. You will definitely look into Chinese patent and US patent. So identifying your source of search will help you to get a better report or better understanding of the work that people have already done. Okay. Conduct the search. Obviously, you have to do the search online. Screen and analyze the result. See, when you do the prior art search, which I'll be showing you how to do it, you will see that you receive a vast number of data. Okay, you might receive such a broad data. It's the use of keywords which will help you to lessen the documentation. See, I don't believe that you can read 1 lakh documents in a day or two, or maybe in few days, to just identify कि आपका invention कितना unique है. You're not going to do that, right? So how much better you can frame your keywords will help you to get a better result, and then analyze the result. If you are doing a prior art search, first read the abstract. See, when you have a report, multiple applications shown, read the abstract to understand whether it is actually your sector or not. Sometimes the keywords get you, reports which are not even related to yours. So do not waste time reading the entire patent. First read the claims. First read the abstract. It will help you to sort out a lot of patents, which are going to be unrelated. Second, read the claims. The claims are the heart of the patent. Okay. So by reading the claims, you will understand what they have implemented and what they have claimed rights on. And then if you find something very close by, go with the entire description reading. Okay, you'll have the detailed description, then go and read that. Otherwise, the abstract and the claims will help you to identify what they have implemented and what is closely related. Okay. Evaluate patentability. That is a chance of how much percentage is closely related. That you will help to, the patent report will help you to identify. Document and report. By identifying the closer patents will help you to build a better background. So keep those applications aside. Okay. Now searching techniques. First is searching the text of patent documents using keywords. Search by patent classification and viewing of image or combination. So there are basically 2 databases. One is for the patent. Second is for the design application. So both the databases are separate. Right now I'll try to show you to search the patent, and I'll also try to show you a database for design applications. Okay, so in Indian databases are a bit more difficult than the WIPO and Google, but I'll try to show you all the 3 because they are the most closer by and gives you better result and better report. So the first thing is actually building a text format. So what do they mean by building the text is, let's say you want to search somebody on Google. Now, this is one of the easiest example. Now, you wanted to find Deepika Padukone from the movie Ram Leela. If you go to Google and just type Deepika Padukone, what will happen? You will have hundreds of images of her, right? Now, you go to Google and you write Deepika Padukone from Ram Leela. Okay, so you will get hundreds of pictures specifically from Ram Leela. But you don't want that picture. You want the exact images from the time, in this red sari. Okay. So you just, in the red Ghagra Choli. So you just write Deepika Padukone, Ram Leela, red Ghagra Choli. So what will happen is they'll give you the exact image that you will get. So the keywords help you to build a better search report. Okay. So understand that when you decide to do the prior art search, keep the keywords very precise such that you get a better report. So today, because I'm teaching you how to do prior art search, let's take a very technical example, but it's very easy to understand because I think this is something that we all use at our homes. So it will be much easier to understand. So we are going to have a prior art search to understand self-watering plant pot with moisture sensor for indoor use. So what the actual invention is, we are creating a self-watering pot which will measure the soil moisture. Okay, so there are sensors involved. And second, the room moisture level such that the plant is not overfed with water. Okay, so that's the main intention, that the plant should not die. Now I'm a person who keeps on traveling, like I'm never home like 15 days, 20 days. So I don't like my plants dying. So this is a device which will help in 2 ways. Now, if
if it's monsoon, the moisture level is already too high. So I don't want the plant to be watered continuously. And let's say it's very hot. So the entire atmosphere is very dry. So the soil will also dry faster. But it has to check if there is water retention in the soil and does not keep on feeding water. So it's a self-watering pot with a lot of smartness involved. So what is the first set of keywords that I'll be designing? So the first primary keyword is self-watering pot, for sure. Automatic plant watering, yes. Soil moisture sensor, I definitely need that. Indoor plant irrigation. Now, this pot I am restricting as indoor plant irrigation because I don't want it for the outside pot because it will change the environment. Why did I told you to keep it broader, but whenever you decide to restrict it, you need to have a justification. Now, let's say my pot is kept outside. It will entirely change because identifying a room moisture level is quite different to identifying the atmospheric moisture level, the temperature, the change in climatic condition. It's much more difficult. So I keep it very simple. I'm building a home interior water potting, like self-watering pot, which will work much more efficient and much more simpler than the pot that is kept outside. Okay. And a smart pot. So these are my primary keywords. Now, what are my secondary alternate keywords that I have to keep such that there is always a comparison? Now, instead of self-watering pot, I can have another keyword which talks about water dispensing flower pot. Okay, so instead of self-watering, I also use the keyword water dispensing. Okay, second is automatic plant watering. So I keep few more extra keywords like soil humidity detection device, sensor-based irrigation, autonomous plant care system, moisture-controlled watering device. Now, these are few of the extra words or extra keywords that I've kept such that it creates a comparison. Now, why is that necessary? When we will do the prior art search, you will understand. So now, let's build a combination of this. How do we build a combination? We can use and or. Now, because I believe you all are from the science section and science sector, or maybe because we have done 1 to 10 class all together, there was no bifurcation. We might have learned the and or combination. Now, and is where you want two words to be combined and both have to be present in the document. And or combination is where either this or that. Okay, so that's the combination which every patent database also uses. So you will create an and or combination. So the first combination that we have created is automatic watering pot. These are the keywords, okay? These are combination. Automatic watering pot, soil, moisture. So these keywords have to be there. The second set is flower pot, auto watering, moisture-based watering soil, moisture detection. Now these are the second set of keywords that I've created. What are the third set? Self-watering plant pot and soil moisture detection. So these both features should be there. The fourth set is smart flower pot and sensor or controller. So I can either have sensors or controllers, either should be there. Okay. Now the fifth set is flower pot and auto water or moisture based watering. So either of these words should be there, and soil moisture detection. So I've created few set of keywords. Now you will understand why having too many keywords help to get better reports. So I'll just show you the databases that we need to have, Okay, so first we'll be jumping on to Google Patents. So there are 3 databases that we'll be going through today. So the first is Google database. The second will be, I'll be showing you WIPO, that is World Intellectual Property Organization. The third will be IP India. So I'll be showing you 3 databases today because see, the Google database is the simplest if you are a beginner, if you are at a very initial stage, or if you are a researcher, a PhD candidate. Google database is easier. See, Google database is not government backed, but it has a lot of data. It has almost every data from every country's patent database. Okay, so it gives you a very good prior art search. They have a better integration. Okay, now they have smart chats also, right? They have AI bots, so they give you better results, better reports. So the easiest one is Google patent search because you don't have to work too hard to get a report. The second is WIPO. WIPO is World Intellectual Property Organization. It's a combination of 153 countries. So when you apply for an international application, so many of you might have heard the word international application. understand US patent, UK patent, Germany patent is not an international patent. International patent is when your application is broadcasted into 153 country and your patent is visible on WIPO's website, World Intellectual Property Organization. And that is only possible through PCT filing. If you're interested to know more about PCT filing, please to put it in the chat box. Our experts will connect with you. But without applying for a PCT application, you cannot broadcast that you have filed for an international application. You might have filed for a US application, that's different. That's like filing an Indian application. But if you want an international application, Google it. See, do not take my word for it. Google what's an international application and PCT will come into picture. Okay, so filing a PCT application gets your patent broadcasted onto WIPO's website, which is World Intellectual Property Organization, where 153 country has a contract, has an agreement to support and not to copy each other's patent and not to get in the way of others' patent. That is an entire different procedure. But under WIPO, you will get a bigger, larger government-supported database to the recent publication. That means aaj ke din mein, today, what else has been published, you will get it there. Okay. So Google database might not be updated to the minute, maybe possible, but WIPO's database is. Okay. So that's the second one. It's very easy to go to WIPO. That's why I'm suggesting that. The third is IP India. That is our Indian proprietary database. India do not share their database with Google. So that is why it's difficult to find Indian patents on Google platform. But IP India is our Indian proprietary database. You can go and search there. It's a bit difficult. It takes a lot of patience and practice to find something on Indian database. But once you are a bit pro, you will start finding the exact data that you're trying to find. But if you know that, this college or this school is already working on it, it will help you to customize that search. But yeah, Indian database is a bit more difficult than Google and WIPO. So I'll just open the, the Google patent search, and we'll again start using these keywords to help and search for, how many patents are there with regards to an automatic flowering pot. So that's our main intention today, right? To identify how multiple keywords, combinations of keywords can be and should be used for prior art search for precise prior art search. Okay, so let's start. I'll just share my screen so the patent database is visible to you. Okay. Okay, so I think my screen will be quite visible to you. Right. So here, the first thing that I'm doing is Harsh, if you have any query, you can please put it into the chat box so our experts can address it. Okay, so the first thing that we'll be doing is going to Google patents. Okay, so we'll see, I'm showing you the easiest way such that, you can either go to google.com/patents or just write Google patents. Here is the link. This is the Google database. So what is the first keyword that we saw was automatic water flowering pot, soil moisture. Okay, so I'll just put this and do the search. So as you can see, I have almost 1 lakh results which are visible onto the website. I'm not going to read 1 lakh documents, okay? So that's going to be a bit difficult. So what is the simple, how can you start? The first thing is read the abstract that is visible here. Can you see the abstract that is provided? Check whether it is talking about what you're doing. So what is the first thing that is defining? The invention discloses a method of cultivating potted grapevine. So they are using it for creating grapevine. So it looks good. So, okay, you will look into it, but you're like, you know what? I need to customize this search more better. So what to do about it? Okay. So we had more keywords for it, right? So let's go. So our second set of keywords, we had, just a second. We had used few more keywords. So I'll just, okay. So as I told you, I will be increasing the keywords, right? Just a second. So as soon as I added more keywords into the search report, you can see that the result decreased. It came down to 33,800, 3,386 reports. By improving the keywords, by giving more precise keywords, this keep on happening. See, now you got a better report. Water retaining planter. That means here they started talking about a planter instead of pot. They started using the word planter. Now this is what you need to understand. आप में से कितने लोगों ने सोचा कि water plant flower pot? What's the other word for flower pot? Planter. So they use that word. So you need to understand that such things are of importance. Okay, so now let's go to the third set of keywords where we are using and. Okay, so let's say I am using here and. Oh, this might also happen. Now what does this mean? It does not, I have seen kids, I work with students a lot, so they come up and they're like, you know what, ma'am, no result was found. So do that mean I am the first person to talk about it? No. Do you think that? Do you think that people have never spoken about watering pot or plant? No, it's not true, right? So it's not a correct result and you know that. So just jump out of it. I'll just check again. Yeah, no result found. So don't be very happy about it. So there is something wrong with the keywords. I'll change the keywords again. Let's see what the second set of keywords do. Okay, so now I'm using and or combination. So smart flowering pot and bracket sensors and controllers. Can you see the count of the result that decreased from 1 lakh to 296? That's the beauty of using better keywords, precise keywords. Can you see the first title that came up? They're talking about a plant growing system. The other one is a kind of intelligent flower pot. The third is smart flowering pot. Can you see they have provided multiple subsystems? You get better results with better support. Why do you think these patent offices or patent attorneys or agents charge you for prior art search? Because they build better keywords to give you a better report. See, the report that reaches you, maybe 10, 5 patent, 10 patent, 15 patent, but can you see the capacity that they have to read and give you a precise report? It is possible because they have a good set of keyword building team. We all have a team who actually works on the keyword to get a pet percent. If you get 1 lakh report, do you think anybody is going to sit and read the whole day? No, nobody's going to do that. But when you have a better set of keywords, you get a better set of reports. Okay. So now there was a last set of keywords which we built, right? A larger one. Remember, flowering pot and auto watering, moisture-based watering, and soil moisture detection. Let's see what happens. Oh, no result found. So here some keywords are way more than required. So I think we should go with the last one, which had a better report or a better result, right? Yeah. So we'll definitely go with, oh, sorry, that's problem with the syntax. So this here, there is some problem with that. So we cannot go with this, but I think the last one was a lot better, which gave us only 296 reports. So just go through the abstract of the 296 reports. It will help you to identify, just scroll through the abstract. So like the first one looks impressive. The second one looks impressive. The third one looks impressive. The fourth one is also a smart pod. So here there are sensors, temperature data, humidity data, nutritional value, luminous data. So as soon as you read through the abstract, you will identify, okay, and see, this is a very basic idea. So for sure, there might be lack of reports. And 296 is a very small number to the data which we have read in the past. I think 296 is very less. But just by reading the abstract, you will understand to what extent the work people have done. Now, if you are building something similar, let's say if you have something more to add into it. So add those words. Or maybe, you are doing not just watering the pot, you're adding, let's say, Epsom salt, or you're adding fertilizer or pesticide. Depending upon the climate, the pesticide is being added. So all those things, all those precise parameters, you can add into the search pan report, and it will give you a more customized and better report. So this is how Google Patent Database works. So I like Google personally. I have been using this for the past 12 years because it gives you much better report. It gives you a lot of data, And you know what? See, this patent was granted in 2024. So as you can see, this is like a recent, just 2 years back data. You will have almost till 2026, like this month, till this month, you will have all the data available. They are very updated. They are very precise. You can even use their chatbot services to get a better search report. But yes, see, they have been, see, if you just scroll down, because it's a very basic idea, you might see some very impressive images of, that is available for the search report that you have done. So this is how the Google patent database works. There is an advanced version also to this, but I think you should go with this one because it's much more simpler, and you can get better results and reports from it. So do not go with the advanced one. Just by using the keywords, you will help. Now, what I was asking you to read, first is the abstract. Just read the abstract to understand कि उन्होंने क्या काम किया है. Second is this, the claims. The claims are always the heart of the patent. Now, this is the portion which they are trying to claim on. Okay, so you can just go through the claims and understand what they have specifically mentioned. Okay, so just read these two. Do not read the entire description. See, I don't believe you will want to read so much data of like 296 documents. So just go through the abstract and claims. It will be more than enough to identify if that is patentable. Okay, so next we are going to WIPO search. So WIPO is international database. Okay, so we'll go there to do the search. Now, when you go to WIPO's website, see, I'm showing you the, मैं आपको directly link भी provide कर सकती थी. I would have told you, use this link and go down there directly and then use it. No, I'm not telling you that. Use it as a layman. Go to Google, write WIPO patent search, jump to the official link and use it. Okay, so we just have to be smart, not act smart. Okay, so here, when you go to the WIPO patent search database, here as you can see, there are multiple columns. So they are asking you, where do you want to do the search? So let's say I want to do it in the front page. Front page is usually where the abstract and title is. Okay, or do you want to do it in the full text? Full text means from the title, description, objectives, summary, description, claims, everything involved. Do you want to do it in a full search? Do you just want to search in the claims? Great. So here you can select at what portion you want to do the search in. So I would not suggest you to go with the full text, because what will happen is you will get a lot of results. Okay, so because the keywords can be bits and pieces into multiple bifurcation. So either do it in the front page to get at least an optimized result, or in the claims portion. So let's try the claims. Okay, see, I'm doing this live. I have not done this. I have not practiced doing this in the past. And you know what? I'm like, मुझे पता है क्या result आएगा, क्या report आएगा. नहीं, I'm just doing it live in front of you. So maybe जैसा है no result found, ऐसा आ सकता है. It might shock me also and a bit of you also. But that gives us an experience, right? It gives you a live experience to understand कि अच्छा ऐसा हो सकता है. So it does not mean कि मैं कुछ गलत कर रही हूँ. It does happen. So your keyword building is a practice which takes at least a few times to get a grip of it. Okay, so what was the first keyword set? It was automatic watering, flowering pot, soil moisture. So let's see if we can get this into our report. Okay, so it's running. Hey, see, WIPO is, I think WIPO works much better. Can you see that I have received here just 9? See, as I told you, I'm just checking in the claims. I'm not going around. Now, these are the keywords which are available in the claims. Okay, so I will have to flip the, here also the and or works. Okay, so here also you can use the and or combination, but this is the first set of 5 claims. See, why I always ask you to go to Google is because it is very user friendly. These are professional databases, means WIPO and IP India, USPTO. They are government databases. So they have built it with the complexity of it being a government database. I know it sounds something different, but yeah, it is. आपको पता है ना, when you visit a government database, you always are like, it could have been so much easier. It could have been so much easier. But that is why they have Google database, and that is why I told you, if you are a beginner, jump into Google database because that's the easiest one. Okay, so first, see, as I told you, I was searching in the claims and I just got 9 reports. What happened when I did it in Google? I had 1 lakh reports. So that's the difference between a Google database and a WIPO database. But I think WIPO, because it's a government inclined, I think it will help you from the first start. So let's see what's the first abstract. Now I love the way they have worded this. Okay, so now this is so this patent is an European patent. So what they're talking about is floral architecture offers us technology solution for convenient plant growing in pots, easy fitting into given space and size and something of that sort. And here they have a time, switch, pump, timer, computer, plug, irrigation system, door, filling holes, water purifier, and automatic watering tank, filling, exterior mask, and wall cladding. Can you see all the words that you needed jumped up in the first description itself? So that's why WIPO holds so much prestige, because it's an international database which gives you much more precise output in the first go. So when we Google pe kiya tha, when we did it on Google, the 1 lakh report, the first abstract seemed vague, but here, as you can see, it will give you lesser result but very precise. So that is why WIPO database holds so much importance. Okay, so this is how you go to WIPO database. You can search here, jump around this database a bit more times. I just want to try once if it takes the and or. I'm very sure it does, but still I just want to try it once in front of you and just see if it works. No, I think, okay, so either the coding has some problem or maybe, no, it's a code. Okay, so, okay, I think they have a advanced search. Yes, okay. So they have an advanced search panel. So instead of doing this, you can, use this also. So they have an advanced panel where you can, okay, here the language is also restricted. They have the query examples here for you. See how to use it, like wind turbine, general, how to use the keywords. They are giving you multiple examples, multiple way to write the command. So they have a lot of things that works here. Okay, so you can always, they have an advanced search. You can always go here, field combination. They have field combination. Now this is also something very impressive. They have an and or combination here. So here, if you are searching, you can select the text column. You can select the claims column or all data or number or abstract. You can do it. So WIPO has a better search engine. So you can use the and or combination. You don't have to write it. You can just use the and or combinations from here and get a bit precise report. Okay, so I think WIPO we researched into a bit more. So I'll be just running a bit faster. Okay, so the next database that we'll be searching on is IP India. I hope the website is visible. So here in IP India, you just have to go to e-gateways. Okay, in e-gateways, can you see, public search, patents. Okay. This is the search engine of Indian Patent Database. Here you can use to search the statuses. Here is the place where you have to use the keywords. They also have the bifurcation like title, abstract, complete specification. Can you guys just give me like 1 second? Okay. Yeah, just might have lost it. Okay. So here, as you can see, so let's say we check the abstract. Okay. So what are the keywords that we are using is flowering, okay, automatic flowering. Okay, I had the keywords written, right? Yeah, they have this CAPTCHA and everything. So that gives a bit of a headache, but yeah, okay. The Indian database has improved a lot in the last few years. Now, this is the problem with the Indian database. As you can see, they'll give you so many data which is unrelated. You can just read the titles and move on. See, the first is a secure mobile web CSRF using accelerometer and sensor. It did not mean anything. It does not mean anything, and still the reports have come. So that is the problem with the Indian database. So if you are working for the first time, Indian database, do not start with it because it's going to give you a lot of headache. Start with the Google database because that's the easiest. The second, you jump down to WIPO, and then if you have time, you can come down to here. See, I'm not saying that it won't give you a precise report or it won't give you a report at all. Like, let's say here they are talking about a unified smart pod system with fog-based plant monitoring. It will give you results, but the only thing is you need to have a bit more patience to read it. So like you have those things like smart moisture aware. So what happened was it picked those words which seem similar, and then it gives you a report. So IP India, it will take a lot of time, but here, as I won't suggest IP India in the first go. Start with Google database, jump down to WIPO, and then come down to IP India. Okay, and now there are so much facilities like Gemini and all those things. You can use them also to get at least a summarization of what your application is about. But otherwise, to have a precise search, do jump into Google Patents and WIPO first. If you get no results in those, you can be at least 85% sure that you have a solid invention. At least 85 to 90% sure. So that's the guarantee what Google and WIPO does. And then come down to IP India. You need to be a bit more practical about the keywords that you're going to use, but otherwise it will give you a result. Okay, you'll need a bit more patience than the others, and then I think you can work on it. Okay. So this is all about search, and now we'll jump on to freedom to operate because I think we are running a bit short of time. So I'll just share you my presentation again so we can just move on to, okay. So after keyword building, we saw 3 databases, that is Google Patent Search. We saw, we saw WIPO classifications. We did see Indian patent system. Okay, we saw the search pattern here. There are a few more databases, like you can have European database also, Japanese. If you want the link to these sites, just let us know. Or else, as I taught you, just go down to Google, write Japanese patent search, and Japan patent search. It will give you the exact link to their database. You can jump onto it. So let's do that instead of कि हम इस link आए फिर हम search करें. Don't do that. So WIPO helps you to check the international database, and if you are willing to file for an international patent, WIPO is the website where your data should be published, because WIPO is not just publishing it on its own website, but to 153 country also. Okay, so that's the privilege that you hold when you file for a PCT application. Okay, I'll definitely plan for one session on PCT. I'll definitely ask my team to schedule one. But right now, I think we can move ahead to understanding what is freedom to operate. So what is actually freedom to operate? See, freedom to operate means अगर आपके पास कोई invention है, you are working on something. If your idea is not patent protected and you still want to work with it, what are the restrictions that can come into picture when you're applying for a patent? So that is where freedom to operate comes into. How much freedom you have with your idea to operate in the market is what freedom to operate helps you. So why does it matter so much? So before launching a new product or technology, company must ensure that their innovation does not overlap with an existing patent or protected IP. Otherwise, the key risk is of lawsuit. I have so many clients who just come down to market and they are like, you know what, ये तो basic idea है, ये तो चलेगा, ये तो हम कर देंगे. And they are, whenever I have a very good client who runs a national international business, they launched a product and they received a letter of no. See, they were very safe till they were trading in India. Okay, so here in India, I have seen very less company fighting. No, there are big companies fighting. I'm not saying that there are no companies fighting, but not at an initial level. But these people, as soon as they brought their product into the US market, they just launched, and within 15 days they had lawsuits, they had notifications, legal notices coming, informing that what they infringed, where their product is wrong, and all those things coming up. Before a proper market research, you should not create a product. And what does the market research mean? It's not just prior art search, it's also understanding what people have done and how your product implementation in a different way will help you to work around that project and get you out of those lawsuits. Okay, so freedom to operate helps you to build something which can help you to go around the product without infringing them. So FTO analysis process includes patent search. Definitely, prior art search is of importance. Second, legal assessment. Determine if the product falls within the scope of that patent. If you identify something that is related to your idea or product, think and understand. Let the legal team help you to understand what they have implemented and how your product stands up. So that holds a lot of importance. So understand that. The third is risk mitigation. If it overlaps, let's say you found some application which exactly matches, then how much risk is there? See, patent has a 20 years of lifespan. So if your idea strikes with something which has an expired patent date, like some patents, they do not renew it. Patent has a renewal period, and if they do not renew it, the life of the patent gets expired. So if it is between that time span, enjoy, no problem. But you need somebody to let you know if you are safe to work or not. Otherwise, the legal accusations can drag you a long way than your product profit can. So do not do that. Okay, so key takeaway if a company is to conduct an FTO, they should have an FTO practice. That means freedom to operate practice, where you have somebody to tell you to do a prior art search, what are the risks, how you can work around, such that you are safe in the market. Every startup, every student project who want to commercialize it should do this. No doubt for it. Okay. So role of IPR in business ecosystem is internal administration. It helps the owner of the company to maintain the rights of the idea by doing this practice. Okay. So I see FTO is not just that you're restricting others from using it. You also need to restrict your employees. See, let's say you are not in the business field, but somebody in your family is. If you do not have a proper FTO practice, if you do not have legal documentations inside the company, what will happen is your employee might resign or quit the job. He will take your entire trade secret with them, your business secrets, your blueprints, and then decide to join a company at a higher position by giving all your secret data. So have a stronger internal administration in IPR rules. Okay. Second is the employee conflicts. Resolve it with better documentation. Client data. Your client's data is your responsibility. It's your confidentiality agreement. So please be careful, because if now I have clients who hire freelancers to do their work, they don't have a tight binding agreement. Now what happens is, these freelancers, after giving your entire project handing over, they even decide to hand over your ideas to somebody else who come up to them as a client. Don't do that. FTO practices help you to be yourself, your product, only you, your proprietorship. That is what FTO practices does. So be very sure that when you hire a freelancer, the agreement is tight bound. Okay. Third is outer competition. Act as a legal barrier against copycats, market imitators, strengthens brand image and market position. See, IPR always gives these things to a company, right? So if you have a patent, a trademark, a database, a copyright, having these things helps you to grow better, have your own brand value, and it serves you better to have a competition in the market. So FTO practices, prior art search is one part of FTO, but having an IPR gives you a better market value and market face. So these things are important if you're involved in the business sector. Okay, when the countries are signing a free trade agreement, if your product is not protected under IPR, your freedom to operate will be challenged very badly. Now, let's say we sign a freedom to operate with a country like China. We manufacture a product at 20 rupees. China will come up and say, you know what, I'll come into the market at 10 rupees. If you don't have a patent right on that product, you are going to fall very badly. But if you have a patent right, even with the free trade agreement, they will have to get your permission, give you a profit share to enter that market. That is what IPR does, even in a free trade agreement. It helps innovation to be protected, get the real market value, and to get the licensing value if another competitor enters the market. Okay, it attracts investment, fair recognition, protects the brand's value, and promotes knowledge and economic growth. So these all things are brought in with proper IPR practice and with proper freedom to operate practices across India. Okay. So I hope today's lecture, you might have understood the importance of prior art search, how to do a prior art search at an initial level, and what freedom to operate means. So I do understand that, see, if right now there are so many consultancies, including Mycrave, who help you to have a free prior art search. See, we have a good expert panel who does it free of cost for you. Do not move ahead with a patentable idea without having a prior art search. Okay, so if you don't have time, I do understand that you're in your field, you might be busy and you don't want to do a prior art search. Hire a consultant who will do it free of cost or will do it at a professional scale with a better valuation. See, the prior art search might cost you a bit, but understand it will cost you much less than the money that you'll spend for patent filing if the idea is not novel, or if you enter a market without identifying your competitors. So prior art will help you in every way possible. Okay, so I hope I was quite clear and we were able to make you understand as much as details as possible. So as under Invent Mission, if you want your colleagues or your students to get a bit of knowledge of it, please do help us, please do support this mission such that we can reach as much as people as possible. 5 lakh is our target. If you can make us reach more people, it is always welcome. And we have a beautiful set of people who will come across, we'll have multiple lectures, which happens free of cost on a webinar scale. So I hope we'll be seeing you in the next session. We'll be discussing computer-related inventions, how to patent a computer-related inventions, what are the rules and regulations that is making computer-related inventions patentable in India. So we'll be talking about that in the next sessions. So till then, thank you all. Keep thinking, keep innovating, keep protecting. Okay, so now we'll be moving on to the Q&A session. If you have any doubts or queries, please do ask. And then we'll wind up the lecture. Thank you.
So Pooja ma'am, when is the next session for?
So 11th of July, sir. Every second and fourth Saturday we have, sir. So we'll have it on 11th of July, sir.
Okay. So there like what all things we need to consider, like let's say I have some idea in payment domain.
Okay.
So whether it's a patentable, not patentable, of course, prior art search is one, and then if something need to be added in that idea to make it mobile or something, right? That discussion.
Yes, absolutely. So when we talk about some of the inventions, they even drag in section 3, which is a non-patentability clause. So there are certain things which are not patentable in India. So we have to consider that, because when we do a prior art search, every country have a different set of restrictions regarding novelty, inventiveness, and section 3, that is non-patentability. So what we do is, when we do a prior art search, we check it all the way. That means under section 10, is it possible? Under section 3, is it possible? Then the novelty and invention comes into picture. Because अगर India में allowed ही नहीं है, तो आप India में file कैसे करेंगे? So we'll have to look in that perspective. Earlier, computer inventions were not patentable in India, but since 2025, the rules changed, and that is what we'll be discussing in the next lecture. But yes, we do check from all the perspectives, such that it does not even breach those claims which are not allowed in India.
Yeah, and last question to you, ma'am. So any patent, like if it is filled in India, that can filled outside as well, or only one patent is across international, only one is allowed?
Yes, sir. Only one is allowed. You as an inventor, if you are filed in India, you can file it across the world. That is okay. There is a time limit of 12 months. You can file for an international application across the world. But nobody else can file it. Nobody else. Because as I told you, invention can happen only once. वो जो Big Bang moment है, वो एक ही बार हो सकता है. So if you have come up with an idea, patented in India, if somebody decides to file it in US, they will have a prior art search and identify कि अच्छा ये patent तो India में हो चुका है. Then you will not get the rights for it. So yes, patent can only happen once in any country. Once. कोई भी country में एक ही बार file होगा.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we have a few questions in the chat box, I believe. So all the recordings of this lecture is being uploaded onto the YouTube channel. You can just visit MyCrave or Srishti, Megha. If you can just put the link of the YouTube channel onto the chat box, it will be helpful for the people. So we record these, we do put it online. So, you can just have a revision anytime that is required. Yeah, we don't have a WhatsApp group. The reason is we have to value the privacy of our people. So we don't have a WhatsApp group right now, but yeah, we'll definitely plan for one. Thank you. I hope if there is any other questions, you can please unmute yourself and ask. Yeah, please. So you can unmute yourself, sir.
Ma'am, my question is about prior art search.
Okay.
During a prior art search, should we search only patent or should we also include general papers, thesis, YouTube videos, product catalog, or any other things? Which of these carry the highest weight during patent examination?
Okay. So, see, जैसे मैंने कहा, a patent's life depends upon till it is unpublished. And when I say unpublished, it means unpublished in any way. So when the government does the examination, the research papers and the patents are their first priority. Do understand? You will see reports where you can see non-patented data, that is published papers, and patented data, which is D1, D2, D3, which is patented content. So their first priority is always published papers and patent database. But I have seen them providing links to open databases like, Google पे आ गया है, Amazon पे आ गया है. The product matches the product available on Amazon or Flipkart. They do that too. So when you are doing a prior art search, give the importance of searching everywhere, not just your patent database or Indian patent database. Search everywhere. That is why I told you, go for Google because they have the database from almost, I think, 190 countries. WIPO, 153 countries. It's a government database, so it's very updated. IP India for Indian database. And if you want to be very precise with your search, go with European, Japanese, US. You can have their prior art search too. But I think Google Patent Database will give you a lot of insight into multiple databases. That's the first thing. Second is research papers. And third is normal Google search, or, you can even use ChatGPT to check if your idea is available anywhere on the any of the portals also. You can do that. But do search everywhere that is possible. Megha, can you please share the YouTube link into the chat box, please? The people are asking. Yeah, please, ma'am. You can unmute.
Ma'am, my question is, if someone has already patented an invention in the US but not in India, can I patent it in India?
Okay. See, as I told you, if somebody has patented in US, when you apply for a patent in India, there is an examination procedure. Now, there is a confusion regarding examination procedure where people do ask कि क्या हमें product बना के दिखाना पड़ेगा या product check करने आते हैं? No. What they are going to do is they'll pick your idea, they'll create the keywords and search nationally and internationally. So even if you apply in India, they are going to do an international prior art search and they will find your invention in US. So it will contradict. But let's say you don't want to patent and you just want to manufacture that product and sell in India, that you can do. See, patent rights are regionally protected. That means if they have a US patent and if it's not patented here in India by them, then you have the liberty to sell here. Nobody's going to come and stop you. But as soon as you reach an international market, let's say US, you will have a problem. So but you can sell China, Japan, Sri Lanka, wherever you want. Just do not go into US. But yeah, if you apply for a patent, they are going to find a US patent in your portfolio and they are going to create a lot of issue for that. So do not file it. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So I think we have discussed very in detail about the prior art search. If you have any further queries, you can reach us on that number any day, anytime. So our experts will revert back to you. And if you're willing to have such a lecture in your campus, please do let us know. So we take in different portions. It's not just about basics of IPR. If you want a lecture on prior art search or patent drafting, or let's say just focusing on CRI or Ayush scheme, we do take that 1 to 2 hour lectures also, focused on what your sector is, what your branch is. And as we want to spread the word about IPR as much as possible, this is one of the missions that we have taken up. I hope you'll all support us in that. And thank you for attending this. I hope to see you next time. Thank you, everyone.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Please tell me.
Can you please resend that Google form links which I have to register for?
Sure, Anish, sir. Sir, if you can just ping on this number, which is visible onto the website, on the screen, I'll share you the Google link to you personally, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Just DM you.
Yeah, sure. And all these presentations are also available on our YouTube channel. Somebody has asked us, yes, because the entire session will be there online. So these presentations are also available online.
Ma'am, are the previous sessions recordings also available or only this session?
No. We have uploaded everything. So the past 2 lectures are also available online. So you can just visit MyCrave channel. We have even lectures on how to draft a form, how to draft a patent. We have all those lectures on our YouTube channel. So even if not just the past 2, you want to learn more about IPR, all the details are there. So you can please visit.